Hi all! Everything in my video is pulled from the public domain, and I am using them under the Fair Use, Fair Dealings guidelines. Everything I say is my own opinion. You should look into this information for yourselves, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Good morning, everybody. Today's video is a mishmash of stories and information, but it's all out there, so I just decided to put it all together in one video and get it off my plate. All right, so let's just jump right in, okay? Let's go. We're going to start off this morning with two stories that came out by Neil Sean. The first story is that the people of the UK want Harry and Meghan removed from the royal website, and they're getting more and more anxious to have this done. I think it would be fabulous if the family did it. You know, the royal family has to listen to what the UK public wants, and the UK public has been very vocal about this, so let's see what happens. I also personally believe the only people that should be on that website are people that are working for the monarchy, not against the monarchy. All right, next story. Neil Sean also let us know that, there are stories out that William and Kate are going to send Christmas gifts to Archie and Lilibet and how wonderful, and the stories started coming out. They're going to open gifts on Zoom and blah, blah, blah. And Neil is like, no. While George may remember Harry, the other two kids probably don't. They said they'll probably have some courtiers go buy those gifts. Personally, I wouldn't waste my time. All right, next story. Talk about recycling. In 2020, they put out this story about how they were out shopping for a Christmas tree, without the kids, of course, and a young boy ran up and asked the Duke for help. Interestingly enough, the article also said that they called ahead of time and asked for the lot to be cleared before they got there because, of course, they're too important to go Christmas shopping around other people. But there was one family still there when they arrived, and the kid ran through the trees to Harry and asked if he worked there, not knowing who he was. So you can imagine how I laughed when here we are a year later and the exact same story came out. A young boy who happened to be at the store at the same time mistook Harry for one of the staff selling trees. Here's the funny part. Are you ready? According to reports, they had asked for the lot to be cleared, but one family was still inside, and an excited child ran through the trees to the Duke and asked if he worked there. It's like, okay, how many times are we going to hear this same story? They're talking about what happened in 2020, but the point is they're recycling the story and they're putting it out because they're trying everything possible to keep Harry and Meghan in the headlines every single day. Puke. All right, let's move on. Next story, Kate Middleton has been reaching out to Meghan and sending notes and flowers, it's been reported, since Lily was born. Nobody in the royal family has seen this child. They have not taken her over to introduce her. But guess what's been happening? Meghan's been rebuffing her. She's not responding. I don't know what anybody expects. Catherine is such a kind person. Of course, she always tries to play the peacemaker, but it's not going to happen because Meghan wants to be the victim. She doesn't want to patch things up. And the truth is, she wants to be Kate, but she's not as loved as Kate. She doesn't have the position that Kate has. Kate's going to be the future queen, consort. I think that's what Meghan wanted. So in the end, Catherine's wasting her time. And quite frankly, I believe what Duke said above. Meghan isn't worth Catherine's time or attention, and she's beneath her in every way possible. All right, next story. A Time to Walk is a great success, as it turns out, like we were expecting anything else. And for anybody who doesn't remember, this is an app on the Apple Watch where you get to walk. It feels, they said, like walking with your best friend, and they're talking to you and they're playing their favorite songs. And William did it in exchange for donations to 3 mental health charities. It was a great success. He's already surpassed Harry. Yeah. All right, moving on. This story just caught my attention. I just thought it was interesting. There's a troll on Twitter who threatened Kate Middleton, told her to count her days, had a gun emoji, the whole bit. It was reported to Twitter, and Twitter responded 9 months later, but the account was allowed to stay on Twitter. It has not been removed. This is the stuff that makes you wonder what's going on when you've got Yankee Wally that was removed and Murky Meg that was removed. You have, people that are for Kate and William removed, and then somebody who's against Kate and William that actually put out a death threat is still on Twitter. Very odd what's going on, but I think it's being looked into at this point. All right, next one. Harry sticking his foot in UK politics. Yes, he's sticking his foot into the politics of a country that he turned his back on. Somebody proposed that fees that are charged from non-UK troops that want to stay, after whatever, their service is over, that those fees should be scrapped. Who the hell is he to say anything? You're not military anymore, Harry. You have nothing to do with the UK, Harry. Even if I agreed with that policy, you should keep your trap shut, Harry. Nobody wants to hear anything from you anymore, Harry. That's what you're not understanding. Has anybody else noticed what's going on lately with this? First, Harry puts out a statement about the Saudi prince scandal. Then the next day, Harry puts out a statement about the mental health and resigning your jobs. Then the next day, Harry puts out a statement about the visas. In case you guys haven't noticed, they're making sure that they stay in the media every single day and they dominate the media. I wonder if it's possible to sue them for the mental anguish they're causing everybody else, having to constantly have them in our faces. Really? So now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to take a look at the responses that some of you had to Harry's suggestion that you guys should just quit your job if you're unhappy. Let's look. Mandy Rutherford pointed out that she hasn't been paid for the last 2 months, and it's opened many doors for her, debt collectors, bank managers, and a lot of floodgates in tears, frustration, and fear. Mandy, I'm really sorry. It looks like you probably lost your job due to COVID or something along those lines, but hang in there, honey, because something good is going to come down the line. I can just feel it. Angela Harris said she quit her job as he suggested and has forwarded all of her bills to Montecito. Carol Miller pointed out, don't forget that even if you quit your job, Archewell needs your donations. So make that your priority over paying your bills. On another note, Chio said that after the Oprah Winfrey interview and all the other interviews, the books and the bashing, have they really not said their real story? What the heck else is there to say? Unbelievable. I completely agree. This is the final thing I'm going to cover today. Do you guys remember back when Harry and Meghan called a woman to thank her for her fundraising efforts, and it turned out that she was a troll who had been heaping abuse on the royal family? And when Harry and Meghan were told about it, their response was no comment. They didn't condemn the actions. They have not condemned the actions of any of these trolls that have heaped abuse on the royal family. To be honest, I think on some level, I think Meghan's enjoying it. So this next story just did not surprise me at all. For those of you who don't recognize the woman in this picture, this is, I hope I say it right, Mandana Diani. And she was just hired by Archewell as its first COO. So is anybody here going to be surprised to find out that the chief operating officer at Archewell is following one of the worst sugar accounts on Twitter and looking at everything she's putting up? That doesn't surprise me at all. And frankly, I think it confirms what we all knew already, that Harry and Meghan are very well aware of these people, but they just don't care. Finally, one of my followers sent me this picture. It's Meghan Markle sausage. And it's named that because there's ginger in it. And I could be wrong, but it looks at the bottom like it's overpriced. Yeah, that would fit perfectly. Now, I was able to get a better picture of Tigger. Here he is sleeping on my older son's bed. I think the picture turned out really great. He was very tired. And I was able to grab this picture of Finn sleeping across the back of my older son. This is like so odd. I showed you guys a picture the other day where he was sleeping on my husband's head. Is this like a phase he's going through? Because I can't figure it out. So I want to hear your comments. You know how much I love them. What do you think about the stories Neil Sean put out? What do you think about the stories that Kate keeps reaching out to Meghan and Meghan's not responding? And what do you think about Twitter not removing somebody who had a death threat against Kate? What do you guys think about Harry putting his foot into UK politics? And what do you think about higher-ups at Archewell following royal family hate accounts? Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. You can email me, you can follow me on Twitter, you can follow me on Gab. And for those of you who have donated to my coffee fund, thank you so much. And as always, you guys have a great day.